the time this video is out, I might publish it before Memorial Day, but probably be after Memorial Day. And every year for a pretty long time, my friends from college, from the University of Buffalo's where I'm from, we do this annual camping trip in Ithaca, New York. And camping for me, if somebody asks me if I enjoy camping, I usually say no. And it's not because I don't like the activities that are done at camp. I love being outside, doing any outdoor activity, hiking, games, campfire, making food. That's all super fun. For me, the negative stuff is sleeping outside, getting a really crappy night's sleep. There seems to be some sort of rule where if you're camping, it rains 100% of the time. Those are a couple of reasons I don't really love camping. That's my take on camping, not my favorite thing. With that said, we want to have as much fun as possible on this camping trip. That's what this video is going to be about. It's just going to be like my mindset and prep and stuff I'll be thinking about just to try to do anything in my power to have the most fun possible. So real quick, goals for camp. 1, don't do anything really stupid. Number 2, enjoy food and friends as much as possible. And then number 3 is feel good at camp the entire time, which isn't always super easy. You may not know this, or I guess you may not expect me to say this, but when it comes to like having snacks and eating, I don't really have the best discipline or willpower. If there's tons of stuff laid out and it's always there sitting in front of me, not eating an entire bag of chips or all these other types of snacks constantly all day and getting really bloated is actually a little bit of a challenge for me. So what I'm going to try to do, at least food wise and drinks wise, to enjoy camp a little bit more and try to not eat all the bags of chips or crunchy snacks, which are kind of my weak spot, is I'm going to try to go with gut friendly, high protein stuff, or at least stuff that's a natural food that's more filling. So a few things that I have already purchased, I apologize in advance. I do not have them here. They are on the way via Amazon to Buffalo, but chopped jerky, high quality ingredients. Mission Meats also has high quality ingredient jerky. This is the top dog for travel snacks in my opinion. Also some sorts of fruit. I'm going to be bringing my number 1 favorite one would be dates. They're delicious and you can't ruin them ever if you're stuffing them into any bag. Besides this, a high quality granola. There's one called something Elizabeth in the name. I'll put it down in the description below, but that's one I like that I found is really good quality ingredients. And then since I have a cookbook out, I'll link it down in the description below. I do sheet pan chocolate chip cookies and then some banana chocolate chip muffins, which the exact muffin isn't in that cookbook, but I can link it down in the description below. So this is all going to be a few things I'll be bringing with me on top of the food that we'll be eating for meals. Drinks wise, not going to be drinking alcohol most likely or anything carbonated because I just don't like the taste of it. I do really like this type of drink, not affiliated with this or anything else I mentioned, but they're called half day teas. They come in different flavors. I've really been enjoying them probably for the past 6 months to a year if I'm doing anything social, and I just want to have something like in a little can where you're holding something and hanging out with people. Sleep wise, I'm gonna roll with an eye mask, which I don't normally sleep with if I'm at home. That's mostly because I have blackout curtains. I'm gonna get a little white noise machine, probably just like a tiny little fan for $3 off Amazon, where it'll run for hopefully 6 or 8 hours before the batteries run out. I'm gonna do mouth tape per usual, be breathing through my nose, get a little bit better sleep this way. And then the forecast in Ithaca, New York, looks like it's gonna be 50s and rainy, so it should be plenty cold. Won't have to worry about being too warm while sleeping in a tent with a sleeping bag. All right, so this is the stuff that I am going to focus on. Now for the stuff I'm gonna try not to do that I've done in the past. Thing number 1, I'm gonna try not to do graze. If you don't know what this means, it means constant eating a little bit of food all throughout the day. I've had a history with SIBO where I used to graze all throughout the day, and I've noticed that even if I start doing this or do this now, I'll still get bloated. So what I do typically at home is I'll have breakfast, I'll have lunch, I'll have dinner, and then maybe at night, if I want something else, I'll have a little bit of a snack. But in general, there's always 4 hours spaced apart in between each one of these meals, and my digestion feels phenomenal every day when I do this. Like I said before though, if there's food sitting out, which there tends to be at camp, which is the land of unlimited food and drinks, and it's always right in front of you, I have a really hard time not eating stuff. So one strategy I have to try to mitigate this and have this not happen is to pick up a new bad habit, such as smoking cigarettes. Just kidding. My strategy is actually going to be to try to eat a little bit more each time I decide to eat food, so I'm not going to be tempted to eat in between meals. And then secondary option, which I never really do this when I'm at home, but chewing gum. I've actually said negative things in the past about chewing gum, because if you're chewing gum, you might be stimulating your digestive system and swallowing air, which actually can be a bad thing, can kind of make you bloated. But if the alternative is me eating a bag of chips every hour, I think I'd rather chew gum all throughout the day, and at least there's some sort of oral fixation that's had where I'm less likely to want to eat food. And also, to the best of my knowledge, you can't eat food if you have a piece of gum in your mouth, because you don't want to swallow the gum. Lastly, I'll talk a little bit about supplements. To be honest, in the past year plus, I haven't really taken any digestive supplements. Every day, the only things I actually take are, one is a multivitamin that has active forms of the nutrients. I take one by Thorne, not affiliated. I also take creatine and I take magnesium, and that is it. The only other thing I've added more recently is my own gut health supplement, Blow Blocker. I love taking this when I travel because, like I mentioned before, and I'm sure you'd agree, when you're traveling, you're going to be eating foods you don't normally eat. So stuff may not agree with you the same way it normally does when you're at home and you're in your routine. So I love taking Blow Blocker when I travel. I take one in the morning with my breakfast and one in the evening with my dinner. Hopefully I can remember to do this. If not, it's not the end of the world, but it has been something that I've noticed gives me a little bit extra support if I'm out of my normal routine and helps me feel as good as I possibly can. So that's basically it for this video. Not my typical video, but I've been thinking about Memorial Day. I'm doing all this planning, deciding what's going to be best for me to have the most fun and feel the best while I'm camping. So figured I'd share it with you. Let me know if you like this style video or if you don't at all, and I'll probably do less of them. Thanks for tuning into the video. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next video.